Welcome to Metro Focus. I'm Jack Ford. A bombshell report on misconduct at the NYPD. According to an investigation by BuzzFeed News, hundreds of secret internal police files were unearthed, showing that police officers, quote, lied, cheated, stole, or assaulted New York City residents between 2011 and 2015, committing offenses serious enough to merit firing. The files were provided to BuzzFeed by an anonymous source, and according to the documents, the offending officers kept their jobs under a program called dismissal probation. BuzzFeed released the files in what they said was the overwhelming interest of the public. And joining me now to talk about all this are the two reporters behind the investigation, Kendall Taggart and Mike Hayes. Welcome to both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Kendall, I'll ask you the first question. Exactly what are these documents?
So in New York, for the most part, the public has no access to information about how police officers are disciplined. And what Mike and I got through an anonymous source was information that shows what officers have been accused of and what penalty the NYPD handed out.
You mentioned that in New York, there are other states where you do have access.
Yep.
New York is one where you do not.
Exactly.
Mike, what sort of offenses are we talking about? I mentioned in the intro offenses that could warrant firing. What sort of things are we talking about?
It's everything from showing up late to work, filling out a report wrong, to, as you said in the intro, excessive force, lying to a grand jury, which is very serious, lying on official reports, that sort of thing.
Let's talk a little bit about this program, all right, this dismissal probation program. What did you learn about that?
So this was a program that we'd never heard of before we started reporting, and it's kind of a wonky term, dismissal probation, but it basically means that an officer has been fired, except they're not actually going to be taken off the force and they're left on the street to do their job. But they're under a year or so warning program where the department says it's very serious. They hand it out for the most serious kinds of offenses, like what Mike was talking about, lying. Right. But at the end of the day, it seems to not really affect an officer's job. And if an officer's been accused of beating someone, they're still out on the streets making arrests.
Any loss of rank, any loss of pay in this program? Anything that you could see?
Not necessarily. The NYPD told us that they try to keep the officer in the same sort of role, if they can, potentially, while on dismissal probation. So, you know, part of the point of probation is to rehabilitate. So putting an officer on a desk isn't necessarily going to do that.
And what happens at the end of this probationary term?
They go back and continue to do the job that they've been doing for the past year.
I imagine that, and I've seen some of this in your reporting, the NYPD says, look, we have 50,000 employees here. And I think the number they said was maybe 700 or so people involved in this program, of which you got access for about 400 or so. And my suspicion is the NYPD would say, look, it's a small number. When you look at the big picture, it's a small number. And yet, I would assume they would say, the disclosure of this information on a small number of people just has an impact on the confidence that the public has in the NYPD. What do you think about that?
I think that police officers have such an important job that they're not necessarily like an everyday citizen, and to the extent that they're arresting people and being put on the stand to testify, it's the kind of thing where if I was arrested and facing criminal charges, would really want to be able to interrogate an officer's credibility. So I hear the argument that this is definitely not every police officer. Like you said, there are 50,000 NYPD employees. But for the handful or hundreds, really, that we found out about, I think the public has a right to know, and it's important also for officers themselves. We've heard from some that they think the disciplinary system is unfair.
I'm wondering if you think from your reporting that we might see down the road more of these documents being disclosed, to follow up with what the person that you talked to said, which is, let's get it out there so we can get rid of the bad actors and be able to show people, look, we're all doing a good job here. Do you get that sense?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the department and the mayor have said that they want more transparency. They're very open about that. We don't know exactly what they mean by that yet, but a couple days after our original investigation came out, I was at a press conference and I asked Commissioner O'Neill, are you going to be releasing more documents now? And he said that he was looking into it. And since then, the department has come out and said that they're considering releasing some documents which would be anonymous, wouldn't have the officer's name in there, but would have some information about what they're charging people with and what sort of penalties they're doling out. So I think there's a good possibility that we might see more, particularly from the NYPD in the future.
I'll just add to that, though, that we face real legal threats from the largest police union in New York around our reporting. The police union, the PBA, asked the department to try and get a court injunction to prohibit
to
keep us from releasing.
publishing.
So to the extent that more information is going to be publicly released, I don't think it's going to happen without a fight.
Well, I think it's interesting. The sense is the movement is towards more transparency, as you mentioned, talking to the police commissioner and the higher-ups there. The question is, what is that actually going to mean? So we'll continue to look to reporters like you to help us answer that question. Kendall, Mike, thank you very much. Good reporting. We appreciate your sharing your thoughts with us.
Thanks so much for having us.
You take care.